All right, now to the investigation into the terror attack on the Moscow concert hall. Officials now say the death toll has risen to 139 people, with the Russian president claiming the massacre was carried out by, quote, radical Islamists. Authorities say that they have identified an additional 3 more suspects who are accused in the Crocus City Hall attack. 2 brothers and their father appeared in court today with no signs of injuries. This is in sharp contrast to the other 4 suspects who appeared late last night and were visibly beaten. 3 of the men pleaded guilty to committing a terrorist attack. They're all from the former Soviet Republic of Tajikistan. At the site of the deadly attack, the Russian Emergency Ministry said 90% of the Moscow concert hall was cleared of rubble. Emergency workers are dismantling and removing metal structures as K9 teams examine the area. The Russian president has pointed the finger at Ukraine for the attack, but the U.S. disagrees.
There was no Ukrainian involvement, period. You've seen the Ukrainian government make that clear, and of course, with respect to these statements, the Russians have offered zero evidence because there is no evidence. We did offer warnings to the government of Russia in early March about a planned terrorist attack in Moscow, specifically potentially targeting large gatherings, including concerts.
All right, for more, let's bring in Clare Lopez, founder and president of Lopez Liberty LLC. Clare, good to see you as always. So tell us, what do we know about ISIS-K and why they carried out this terrorist attack against Russians?
Right. So the consensus seems to be forming around naming the Islamic State Khorasan as the perpetrator of this horrific terror attack at the Crocus Concert Hall in Moscow, or near Moscow. The Islamic State Khorasan is an offshoot of the Middle East original ISIS, Islamic State in Iraq and al-Sham, which of course we know changed its name in June of 2014 to simply Islamic State, precisely because it had expanded its operations beyond just the Middle East. And then at that time, 2014, 2015, got a foothold in Afghanistan. And from there, that group has been expanding its jihadist activities and operations, and it is now the focus of blame for this horrific terror attack at the Moscow Concert Hall.
Yeah, Clare, and a little over 2 weeks ago, Russia's Federal Security Service, known as FSB, said that it thwarted an attack on a synagogue in Moscow by ISIS-K. So it seems they were already likely on high alert about this group. How do you think they were able to slip through and commit this horrific attack?
Well, you know, in addition to that earlier threat that thankfully was thwarted, the United States government in early March 7th, provided a warning to the Russian government as well through the American embassy in Moscow to any Americans in Russia that there was a threat of a terror attack and that people should avoid large gathering places like a concert hall. For whatever reason, the Russian ambassador to the United States, Anatoly Antonin, denied that the Russian government had ever received any warning from the United States. So I'm not quite sure where the disconnect is there, but that warning definitely was passed along. I'm not 100% convinced myself yet that even Islamic State Khorasan was to blame, and that it was not some kind of a false flag operation by the Kremlin itself. I can't say for sure, but I have some doubts about that, put it that way. The 4 that were captured and arraigned over the weekend were 4 Tajik migrant workers in Russia. But however, during the attack, and it's on video, they seem to be very professionally trained, methodically shooting, murdering people in the concert hall. Migrant Tajik laborers, it doesn't completely line up. I don't know.
Yeah, Clare, I want to quickly ask you this before we run out of time. As mentioned, you know, Russian media and President Putin are really trying to push the narrative that Ukraine is to blame for this attack, despite ISIS, of course, claiming responsibility. Do you think Ukraine could have anything to do with this? And if not, you know, why do you think Putin is doing this? Why do you think he's trying to place the blame on Ukraine?
Absolutely not. Ukraine had absolutely nothing to do with this. There's no question. Ukrainians would not attack in a terrorist attack like this civilians in Moscow or any other place.
All right, we're going to leave it right there.
But the reason is that, of course, Putin wants to lay blame with Ukraine right now.
Yeah, and we have to leave it right there, Claire. Unfortunately, we're running out of time. Thank you, as always, for coming on. Your insights.
You.
Always appreciate it.